Let's get into what the game actually is. It's not available on Steam, but on the Epic Games launcher, and is the only survival crafting game set in the 4th age of Middle-earth. Your adventure begins when you have been summoned by Lord Gimli Lockbearer back to the Misty Mountains with the task of reclaiming the lost treasures of the Dwarven homeland of Moria. The environment you will be playing in is procedurally generated, and because of this, no two adventures will be the same. You take control of a company of dwarves and can play either solo or online with friends. The crafting in this game I am expecting to be pretty advanced due to the armor tier system they show in the trailer, but something they do explicitly state is that noise created by crafting and the clanging of hammers and metal create noise that may draw dangers from the deep. Is it a dragon? Is it a Balrog? They don't tell us, they just name it as the Shadow. No clue what it is exactly, but I'm pretty pumped to find out. Now at this time I'm going to go into the key game features, the first one being resource management. This game espouses some pretty incredible things that I can't wait to get my hands on. Players will need to hunt, gather food and water, and conserve those resources. And the conserving of those resources is what's making me think it may be a touch more hardcore than some may be expecting. There are plenty of survival games that require food and water, that's not new, but in a lot of those games it's not hard to maintain. You can just walk 3 feet from your camp, shoot a deer, skin it, carve it, and then there you go. But they state that we will need to conserve those resources, and that does make sense because we're in the middle of a flipping dungeon. What wildlife is down there to hunt? Will we be taking trips to the surface to hunt? I don't know. But they will need to strike a balance that's reasonable with this, because if they make it too challenging to keep your dwarf full, or you need to eat constantly or drink constantly to keep certain stats high, this game will ultimately be labeled as an eating and drinking simulator. Not only will us players need to manage our food and drink and go hunt, but we will need to manage our sleep as well. This will no doubt include exhaustion, decreased stamina, perhaps less resources collected because you're getting sloppy, and maybe it makes some more noise. Or perhaps you just pass out wherever you are whenever your sleep bar, whatever the measurement is for this, empties. I'm not sure what will happen if you don't manage sleep correctly, but it's cool they are thinking about it. Something else that you will need to manage is your temperature. And I didn't really think about this in the game because every time I saw the shows or movies or even played the previous games, nobody in that environment has really made the temperature a risk in the mines. But it makes complete sense to me. You are delving deeper into a cold, damp, and dark environment where there is no sunlight or growth of vegetation of any kind. It makes sense that you would need to fight back the bitter cold that lives there. No doubt the crafting will come into play here with the different items you can create to warm yourself, but I do wonder if this implies a sickness system, such as hyper or hypothermia, colds, etc. Another thing you will need to manage is noise levels. I already mentioned that earlier, so I won't talk about it more here. There is a dynamic light feature they added to the game, which is pretty cool. The lights will be used to create a safe path through the darkness, and no doubt to warm yourself as well. I wouldn't be surprised if these lights lit irresponsibly, drawing orcs and goblins. Something that will be satisfying is that with these lights and fires, there will also be cooking. At least I hope so. And cooking is a very immersive experience, especially whenever you're in a cold and dark environment, and I honestly hope they implement it. Base building is in the game. As you delve deeper and deeper into the dungeons of Moria, you will be able to build bases that range from small checkpoints to large and grand stone mansions. You can also build onto ancient ruins and prefab structures. Of course, I would think that the larger the building, the larger the threat. Enemies will emerge from the darkness and try to destroy your progress if you aren't careful. I know that could be frustrating to a lot of players who build these things with the expectations that they will survive, but you know, it's a survival game, so you'll just have to be a bit more cognizant of where you're building and what threats are around you. Obviously, crafting is a key feature in this game. You will be able to craft armor, weapons, tools. However, not only can you craft them, you can unlock new machines for crafting and technologies that will allow for more customization. On top of that, and this was pretty cool to me, they have added an enchantment system in the game that will allow you to really make your items flourish and stand out. I don't know what this enchantment system will look like. I don't know what the pros and cons are. I have no clue, but I want to find out more, and hopefully they'll put out some more information on what systems they have in place here in the future. Now, other features that don't have much talked about, but they are in the game: character customization, mining, discoverable maps, books, and jewels, and there's some other smaller ones in there that are more inherent to the survival genre, so I won't really mention them. But that is all we know right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited to find out more about this passion project. What are some things that you were hoping to see? Leave a thought in the comments below, please, and if you made it this far, consider subscribing to see more content like this. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Happy surviving. Path out.